And now, his view, an editorial opinion by Bill Martin.
Elizabeth Smith-McCrossin is at it again, taking liberties with the truth, that is. Liz acknowledged the financial agreement with the federal government on a rebuilding plan to protect the Isthmus of Chignecto. Instead of 3 cheers, she offered her usual 3 jeers, putting her slant on the facts. She suggests the Premier has been dragging his feet on the financial deal, holding up the project. However, the truth is, work on the project started a few years ago. It has not been held up by anyone. It is true that our Premier has been arguing that the project is of national importance and that the federal government should pay the whole cost, just like they did for a $1 billion bridge in Montreal. Liz also suggested in the current sitting of the legislature that our Public Works Minister get the work started. But as I just said, the independent MLA is out of touch and a couple of years behind. She said this should have been addressed years ago, and of course it was. Her predecessor in the legislature, Terry Farrell, and the former Member of Parliament, Bill Casey, they both pounded this issue to a deaf government. The federal government wasn't listening. Again, Liz was late to the party. Now she wants the province to budget for the entire cost in this year's budget. Well, thankfully, Premier Houston is a chartered accountant, and he knows the money will be spent over the next 6 years or more, and no need to tie up the funds right away. And finally, the self-promoting independent had the audacity to say, and I quote, "This victory demonstrates the effectiveness of independent representatives in government." What a fatuous statement. Bill Casey sounded the alarm, and he had to take her out on the isthmus to show her where the aging dikes were located. Terry Farrell magnified the pounding drum when he held the seat in Cumberland North. Former Mayor from Amherst, David Cogan, and his counterpart in Tantramar kept the issue alive at every turn. And when it comes to action, Tim Houston led the charge, securing a commitment from the federal government. He successfully pushed for a start to the project before the financial agreement because he knew the danger was so great that it could wait no longer. If anything, Tory Rushton has played a much larger role than Liz, but he isn't looking for a bow. Liz keeps telling us that voters understand her independence is a positive, but like all the other liberties with the truth, she was elected on a sympathy vote, as she convinced voters the big bad man had tossed her out. She is not just an independent MLA, she is completely independent, divorced from the process and shunned by the people who actually serve. You may survive on sympathy for a while, but stretching that truth will eventually snap, as people will eventually want results, the kind of results that other MLAs achieve. Just look at the action in Cumberland South. At least, that's my view. I'm Bill Martin.